Hello and welcome to the Football Worldwide special edition of the Champions League draw. Tables are set. I know a lot of you have come across from Worldwide, so I am extremely grateful for that. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and let us know in the comments that you were there, just like Jake has. Let's go, definitely. Let's go. Let's get this started and let's keep pushing forward. Without further ado, I do have my dear friend with me, Christian Rivas. How are you today, mate?
I'm excited, bro. Let's go.
It's definitely one of those things to be excited for. Inter finally group pot one of the Champions League in what would have to be one of the most competitive Champions Leagues we have seen in a very long time. Don't you agree, Christian?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good Champions League. Honestly, I think there could possibly be one or two groups at best.
Yes, of course, of course. So before we get started with the actual draw itself, which will kick off in approximately half an hour, we'll get through some of the comments. We'll go through the groups ourselves. We will have a chat and see how it's going. Let's go through some of the comments. Will, g'day. How are you? Good to see you. It's currently 2 a.m. in Sydney, so it's nice and early. Lunchtime where Christian is. So, we've got a bit of spread across. Marcus, finally, let's go. Yes. Will, you've got a supporter there, Christian.
Oh,
Nice
that's my boy
to.
Will. What's good?
And as Hesh, definitely Uncle Sharma will be joining us soon. But without further ado, let's go through a couple of the groups. We'll start with pot one, because as Inter fans, we all love pot one. Um, Pot one consists of Inter Milan, Manchester City, Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid, Sporting Lisbon, and Lille, who were all respective champions of their domestic leagues. You have Chelsea, who are the Champions League winners, as well as Villarreal, who won the Europa League. So, Christian, Group 1 isn't as uh, detrimental as what it's been in the past.
Yeah, no, I think it's still gonna be a good group. Honestly, you got Man City who might be getting a certain player from Juve that'll make them kind of interesting. You know, they still have a good enough squad. They did make it pretty far last year and the year before that, as usual. Bayern Munich, you can never sleep on them. Of course, they run the Bundesliga, but they're still a very strong and formidable side. Atletico Madrid, of course, they won La Liga. They got a very good side. They got a good coach in Diego Simeone. And Villarreal, they turned a lot of heads last year, and again, they look like they're starting off pretty well this season as well. I think they'll do very good. Now, Sporting, again, it's still the Portuguese league. They're still okay, but they just passed the French league in terms of coefficient points. So that league is kind of on the rise. Lille, again, you got to give them credit for beating PSG out last year for the trophy. I wouldn't be surprised if they did it again this year. Just because I feel like that team is full of egos, and when you have too many egos on a team, it's never a good thing. Chelsea, again, they look strong this year. They got Lukaku up there. Let's see if he can actually maintain, that form that he did at Inter, considering that they play a different style. At Inter, they played everything towards them, but that Chelsea team, they don't need them. They're already pretty good.
You're muted, bro.
Yeah, I know that was just me, but I think you're muted.
Yes, I am.
Oh,
I
okay.
am sorry for that. As I was saying, thank you for that nice in-depth analysis, Christian. Uncle Sharma, you don't need any introductions, but welcome to Football Worldwide. Both of you having your debut today. This is what pot one looks like. What do you think?
Yeah, man, it's a strong pot, but yeah, it's not the strongest pot we've seen. As you just talked about on Into Worldwide's little stream you did before this. Lille winning, Villarreal being in there. It's not the strongest it's ever been, but yeah, I'm glad at least we don't have to play Bayern Munich, Man City, or Atletico or Chelsea. So yeah, pretty good pot.
Yeah, definitely, and I'm not sure how much of the French league you have kept up with, but Lille's actually set a record for the first team, I think, in 9 years to not have won any of their opening three games. They
Wow.
have looked absolutely dreadful at the start of this season. But overall, it's good to see Inter Milan in pot one, as both you boys would agree. It just means champions. For those who have just joined, Correa has finally been announced as an Inter Milan player. Um, so does that change? Inzaghi did really well in the debut season for him in the Champions League last year for Lazio. What's that mean for Inter? I think it's positive. I think it's very positive in the sense of I forgot who our number nine's been for the last 2 years, considering the purchases we've made. What do you think, guys?
Who want to go first? You
go,
go, Uncle Sharma.
You go, bro.
Nah, you got it. Go ahead, knock yourself out. I'll go right after you.
Nah, bro. Like, what was the question, by the way? Sorry.
How do you think Inzaghi is going to do with Inter
Yeah.
after last year's performance with Lazio?
Nah, bro. I'm confident this year. I'm confident with Inzaghi now. He's got a more European style of play. We saw that with Lazio as well last year. They got past their first ever time. They came, well, for a first time in a long time, they got to the group stage and they did really well. They looked good against Dortmund. I remember watching that match and being quite impressed with Lazio. So I'm confident, and the way that I'm thinking he's bringing in the players as well now with Correa coming in. There's more, a little bit more pace up front, a little bit more dribbling, a little bit more, surprise, rather than as Christian was talking about, relying on Lukaku, relying on the same mechanism, the same stuff over and over. Against Shakhtar, we saw there was no plan B really from Conte. We kept doing the same exact thing. And it didn't work. So with Inzaghi, I'm expecting a little bit more adaptability, a bit more different styles of play. He's got more options now on the bench as well. So if you want to bring on Correa, or if you want to bring on Dzeko, if you want to bring on Alexis, if he's fit, so you got different options on the bench as well. So I'm confident, man. But this is the year we're getting past the group stage. I'm putting my balls on the line.
I love your confidence, Christian. What do you think?
Yeah, no, just like Uncle Sharma said before, I felt we always relied on either Icardi or Lukaku, and it was just never we never had actual fluidity in our play. And for once our players are able to express themselves and they're able to play how they want, and when they want to shoot, they can shoot. They don't got to worry about Gunny on the sidelines yelling at them, die, 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 or pass it here or pass it there. It's just one of those things again, like I feel it's going to be good for the team. And I think we're going to make it past the group stage for sure. And I think we're going to make it past the round of 16, just to be honest. I think we have a very good team. Adding Correa, I mean, people won't agree with me with what I'm going to say, but I think we have a better team now than we did last year just because we have more options. We have different types of style of play. We can change it up. It doesn't have to be a 3-5-2. It could be a 3-5-1-1. We can even go 3-4-3. We can even go 3-4-1-2. It's just so many different ways we can play because of the different type of players we have with Inzaghi. And again, Conte is a top coach. No matter what, he's going to get you a trophy. No matter where he goes, he's going to get you a trophy. But his adaptability, he can't adapt too much to many situations. He's just more, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to do it. And that's that. Now, I know a couple of Lazio fans said that with Inzaghi, he had the issue with substitutions. But again, you can't compare Lazio to Inter for the simple fact that, no disrespect, Lazio doesn't have the depth that Inter does and different options. And also, I was just going to
Definitely.
say, Sharma, I like your top. It's very nice.
Cheers, bro. Your top's nice as well.
Yeah, I had to go with something different.
Definitely. Before we move to pot two, we'll cover some of the comments. Nah, Biggie, long-time fan of Inter Worldwide. Thank you for coming across to here, Football Worldwide. Saludos. French league does keep getting worse. I think it's becoming a one-team league, and we've just seen Monaco get knocked out by the first ever team to be impacted by the new rules of away goals not mattering anymore. So they're struggling, Lille's struggling domestically, and we've yet to see what fire PSG is going to unleash on the world when it
They're out of
comes to
the top 5, right? The French league now for the coefficient.
There's 6
yeah,
now.
yeah. So I'll be covering some interesting coefficient facts. Gerald, Man U, Benfica, and Wolfsburg, please, definitely. But I did say this in the WorldWide live we did earlier. At the end of the day, if you're going to win this league, you're going to beat the best of the best. Doesn't matter who you get. We can draw PSG in the group stage. If we beat them, we beat them. We're going to face them
Yeah.
eventually. Be careful, guys. Unc might freeze that Chinese Wi-Fi
Hey man,
provider.
people are disrespecting my Wi-Fi. I've been having some difficult technical difficulties in my last few live streams, so they're disrespecting me. But yeah, don't disrespect.
King Darian, we just need to dodge PSG, Real, and Liverpool. Well, as the UEFA group stage draw rules are, you cannot draw anyone from your own league. So at the end of the day, we're very limited as to with who we can draw, especially with there being 5 Spanish teams and four Premier League teams, all consisting in pots 1 and 2. I hope we get Lille Sporting and Villarreal. Well, Inter cannot actually get Lille in or Sporting or Villarreal because they're all in pot 1. Correa stripped Dortmund. Yes, he definitely did. Lukaku with the block from Sanchez. Header against Shakhtar last year still haunts me. Ugh.
He's
What
unlucky,
could
that
have
guy,
been?
man. He always has these viral moments. Like he's got something, some sort of bad luck or voodoo that follows him. So yeah, that's something that we don't have to worry about now.
Will stoked to see the chemistry between Correa, Toro, and the mid will be like, you know what? This is something I'm extremely excited for. We saw both players part of the Argentinian squad that took out the Copa Americas. You know, it's a combination which is made in heaven, in my opinion.
Mhm.
And my favourite comment so far, Gagliardini, the GOAT of depth, can't ask for more. We just know that Inzaghi is going to rely heavily on Gagliardini and what he does there. But without further ado, let's move across to pot 2 and what we can expect to see there. We have Barcelona, PSG, Liverpool, Real Madrid, Borussia Dortmund, Sevilla, Manchester United, as well as Juventus. And if you look at this pot, guys, Juventus, Barcelona, PSG, and Liverpool were all in pot 1 last year, right? And they've dropped down to pot 2. We've got 3 Spanish teams, 2 English teams, and PSG, which has probably had one of the greatest ever transfer windows on paper that we've seen. Uncle Sharma, I'm going to hand it to you.
Yeah, man.
Who's the dark horse in this pot 2, and who do you think is the biggest threat in regards to taking out the Champions League overall?
I think Liverpool, man, they're just a different beast when it comes to Europe. They're just, I don't know, something about them, about Anfield when it comes to Champions League nights. Definitely want to avoid Liverpool, and I think that they'll be kind of the ones going really far in this, in my opinion, anyway. And then obviously everyone's looking forward to see what PSG do. This this star Avengers assembly of players, what they actually can do on the pitch. I don't really see it working out, to be honest, chemistry wise. I don't know who's going to defend, who's going to run back for these guys. Like I really struggle to see how it's going to work out, but everyone wants to see it. Actually, it's like an experiment. So it's gonna be interesting to watch them. But yeah, the other teams, Real Madrid, once again, like last year, they don't look particularly that strong on paper, but they always do bits in Europe. So out of those, man, dark horse, I would say, Sevilla usually are the Europa League merchants. BVB, Dortmund haven't started their Bundesliga campaign that greatly. So I don't know. Dark horse, I could say Juve maybe under Allegri could do some bits maybe. But they've obviously, with the news today of Ronaldo, who knows what's happening there. I'll take Barcelona this year for sure. They're looking a lot weaker.
Yeah, definitely. I think with the loss of Messi, they're just struggling overall. You hit the nail on the head. Real Madrid aren't the same beast they once were. They lost Ramos. They lost Varane. There's rumors of Mbappe potentially heading across to Real Madrid. But the figures they're asking for is astronomical. You mentioned it yourself, Mr. Champions League. Cristiano Ronaldo may be making tracks from Juventus. I think personally that would benefit this Juventus squad going into the Champions League. I feel they're a bit hampered when he's playing there. You hit the nail on the head, Biggie. Sevilla will finish third, win the Europa League. Mark my words. Only always true. Um, the only German team we can beat is Bayern, so no Wolfsburg, please. I think that's what someone's referring to in regards to an earlier group stage prediction. But Christian, pot two. This is generally an extremely strong pot one if you look at history, but it's going to be tough for, and like you said, there's going to be multiple groups of death.
So honestly, I think who I personally would want to avoid would be Dortmund. I'd want to avoid Dortmund because they're always one of those teams that plays as an actual team. And again, they got Holland. Holland can just create something out of nothing. He's definitely probably the best striker up there with Lewandowski. I don't see anybody being better than him. Barcelona, they're not as strong, but now with Messi gone, I honestly expect them to do better just for the simple fact that now, just like our problem, they don't got to play through Messi the whole time. They can sit there and do what they got to do as a team. PSG, again, like Sharma said, I don't know who's going to defend. So with PSG, I don't even expect them to make it to the semis. Just to be honest, I think they're going to flop, especially if Mbappe leaves. And if he doesn't, it might actually hurt him in the long run because there might be a lot of, a lot of media surrounding the team on what he's doing because he's not going to stay. He made it clear that he doesn't want to stay there. He's turned them down like, what, 6 times they said? Some crazy number like that. He's not going to stay. He wants out. And he even said that the French Football League isn't a top league. He wants to go play somewhere that's a better league, more experience. He wants to get out of there. And I think Madrid's going to be a good suit for him. Paris are really dumb if they don't sell him for 160, just for the simple fact that you're not going to get anything for him in January or the summer. So why not take what you can get? It just doesn't make sense to me. And then their owner said something about Madrid should just not worry about him and stick with the golfer. Yo, newsflash, bro. That golfer got 4 UCL trophies to your none, and he scored more UCL goals in the final than your whole team has in its whole history. So you got to always remember that those teams, Madrid, Barca, and Dortmund, are always going to be a strong team. They're always going to be the same. They're same as Liverpool. Liverpool is still a strong team. Manchester United, same thing. I guess the weaker teams you would say would be Sevilla and Juve, just for the simple fact that looking at those other 6 teams, they're scary. Personal opinion.
Yeah, no, definitely. And you hit the nail on the head earlier when you mentioned Real Madrid. And I know that they are looking for some striker. You've seen Memphis Depay absolutely gel with Bust
Brathwaite.
as of like and Braithwaite. He's gelled so well. Uncle Sharma, I know you're going to rejoin us. You need to head home. Jump back into the stream once you do arrive. So we will see you soon. I will get rid of him. There he goes. But Christian, I think yeah, definitely. And this Liverpool we've seen this season coming up against. They've only played Norwich and Burnley, but they've scored. I think it's 5 or 6 goals in those 2 games. Conceded none. Van Dijk back in the squad. It's something special. It's definitely something special.
Oh, I mean, that Liverpool team is still strong no matter how anybody tries to play it. Liverpool is Liverpool. They're a strong squad. Um, yeah, having Van Dijk is huge. That's huge for them. But the thing is, what Van Dijk are you going to get? That type of injury is not easy to come back from. And again, when he comes back, is he going to be scared?
He's been phenomenal so far.
So we'll see what happens. Again, playing in the Premier League is different than playing in Champions League. Just how different playing in Serie A, the Champions League. And that was just one of those things with Conte. You do good in the leagues, but when it comes to Europe, it's a different monster. So we'll see what happens. I think Liverpool will be fine, and they'll probably make it to the last 8 for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And catch Liverpool take on Chelsea this weekend, which would be an absolutely phenomenal fixture, in my opinion, when it comes to the Premier League. But we'll get to some more comments. Rube are in shambles. Ronaldo's not even hiding his intention to leave anymore. The most recent news I've seen on that is he actually did not turn up to training today because he had an arm injury.
Yeah, they
Not
said
sure.
yesterday. Yesterday, he left, quote unquote, with an arm injury after scoring a goal. I don't know if he did it during celebration or what, but
No, maybe when he rushed to take his shirt off, he might have pulled a tendon or something. But who knows? Dortmund's defense is weaker. Their defense is weaker, but Haaland.
sometimes his team's strongest defenses are offense, bro, and that's the thing
Yeah.
with Dortmund. Their strongest suit is their offense. It's their strikers and their midfield. They're pretty good. You can't sleep on them. What's the point of them having a weak defense if they're down on our back line the whole match? You're not gonna sit there and do anything if you're literally defending the whole match, and you'll see what happens. But
Yeah. King Darren and Mbappe to leave, bum LSG, PSG, and come to Inter next summer, mate. I don't want that type of drama there. We just got rid of Icardi. We're finally building a team at Inter. I don't want him, and Gerald has backed me up. I don't want him even for free. He wants to earn at least 40 mil a season, and Haaland, he wants to earn at least $1 million a week. And I heard Rayola's management fees was something along the lines of 40 million euros, to be honest. And Gerald did bring this comment, which I will take down quite quickly, but Mendy has just been suspended by Manchester City indefinitely on several sexual assault charges. There has not been, he's been charged with it, but I will leave that there because it is quite a sensitive topic and we don't really want to get into the politics of it all. But it's definitely newsworthy. He has been suspended and indefinitely, and I believe it's serious from what they've said. Haaland would be a great test. If we make it through, we'll be going up against Lewandowski's and Mbappe's. Lewandowski, yeah, I'm scared of. Mbappe, not really. I'm more scared of the Icardi if he comes onto the pitch rather than Mbappe because Icardi's ego will be down here, whereas Mbappe's will be up there. So, but apparently Icardi injured himself in a potential dive for a penalty, and he's out for a bit as well. But
say you're a scumbag without saying you're a scumbag.
Definitely. Look, thank you to the 18 people who are currently in the chat. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Christian, we are now moving on to pot number 3, which again is extremely interesting. We have the likes of RB Leipzig, Shakhtar Donetsk, Zenit St. Petersburg, Atalanta, Porto, Ajax, Benfica, and Red Bull Salzburg. Mate, that is a strong pot 3 if I've seen one.
There's 2 teams that I already would want to avoid there. And who would
I've
you
got
avoid?
4. I've got RB Leipzig,
Yep.
Porto, Ajax, and Benfica.
For me, I would want to avoid Leipzig and Salzburg, to be honest. A lot of people sleep on Salzburg. Red Bull Salzburg, they play well.
Aye.
They play well. Ajax, I think we could will line up against them well. Porto, we could line up against them well just because of our playing style. Zenit would be a fun game to watch. Shakhtar, I mean, we know how they can park the bus. We won't see Atalanta, so we don't got to worry about that. And again, Benfica, same thing. They're a fun team to line up against. But those 2 teams there, Leipzig and Salzburg, those are the ones that I'd really want to look out for.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I think since De Zerbi's moved to Shakhtar, he's had some phenomenal management, and you really got to applaud him. So I don't think this will be the same Shakhtar we saw in the last 2 seasons of both the Europa and the Champions League. But yeah, it's a tough top.
Did you hear his interview where the interviewer asked him what they had opposed to the other team? He said, "Yeah, we had balls in the heart." He is like, translate that. He was like, "Okay, you guys had courage." He was like, No. Courage isn't the translation. Balls and heart.
Look, you really got to give it to it, and it's good to say. Look, I think this is a great step up for him. You know, he's done fantastic things at Sassuolo, but he needed to move on, and he's gone from Sassuolo to a Champions League team, and he's gotten them there. It's a beautiful run. Atalanta, they had a nice deep run 2 seasons ago. Last season, bit different, but look, I don't think there's any team you can sleep on in this group. Again, it's the Champions League, so you're facing the best of the best. But yeah, the two Red Bull teams are phenomenal. Leipzig, Salzburg, but Porto and Ajax, they've just got the history. And, it's something. And yeah, and King Darian hit the nail on the head here. We will get Benfica, João Mario and Lazaro will show up. That's exactly how it happens when it comes to Inter and when they face their former players. But it will be interesting. And yeah, King Darian again. How can Haaland want a Miller week with no league title, EL or CL or World Cup? Well, have you
That's because
seen him play?
Holland's one of the boys, bro. He just want to ball out and have a good time doing it. He want to be around his people. That's all it is.
Mate, when you've got a manager like Riola, you know he's going to look out for your best interests. Seriously, he knows what he's doing, and he will get what he wants eventually. But yeah, you know what? He might not have the titles, but sometimes one player cannot win you a title. And he's done what he can do to get Dortmund into positions. But I watched them on the weekend. The loss of Sancho's just really hurt them. And you know what? They've teams are learning to shut down Haaland, so it's not too bad. Biggie, Inter Sevilla shutdown. Just give me whoever from pot 4. It would be perfect for Inter. Yes, it would be perfect for Inter, but since when has Inter not had the Pazza Inter mentality? Tell me.
I wouldn't want that right there. Inter Sevilla, Shakhtar, just because one Shakhtar, they still got a good squad with all those Brazilians, And again, they're trying to be. He's a good coach, and he's played against us, and he's beat us. So just keep that in mind.
I'd rather get knocked out against. I'd rather get knocked out by PSG and RB Leipzig, to be honest, just because we'd go out with honour. If we get knocked out with that group, there'd be a lot of criticism and a lot of pressure on Inzaghi before the season really even kicks into gear.
Mm-hmm.
But pot 4, one of the more interesting pots, and one of the best stories to come out of pot 4, AC Milan. Pardon?
Sheriff.
Yes, so AC Milan, Wolfsburg, Club Brugge, Dynamo Kiev, Besiktas, Young Boys, Malmo, and Sheriff FC. Now, a lot of people would have went onto Google this morning when they saw the pot 4 be announced, and who is Sheriff? Well, Sheriff are the first ever Moldovan club to qualify for the Champions League group stage ever. Now, we were talking about the French league, Christian. Sheriff, who just qualified for their first ever Champions League group stage, is
right?
higher than Lille, the champions of France, in coefficient rankings. If Lille finished second, they would have been in the same pot as Sheriff. That's how terrible and how one-sided the French league is. Because you've just got...
Didn't they beat the Croatian team, Zagreb?
Yes, Dinamo Zagreb.
They're a good squad, too.
They're a good squad, but look, there's a couple of teams here that have a history. AC Milan have returned to the Champions League, and as much as an Inter fan, you love to see AC Milan in the Champions League. It's just, it's the team you love to hate. It's like Manchester United as well. You don't like seeing them in Europa. These teams are made for the Champions League, and I feel you got to say AC Milan's returned to where they belong. The Italian club with the richest history when it comes to the Champions League. But Wolfsburg, Club Brugge, Dynamo Kiev, again, repeat offenders when it comes to making the Champions League group stage and causing some problems. Besiktas, Young Boys, Malmo, a club made famous by AC Milan's Zlatan Ibrahimovic, his home club, again, something not to sleep on when it comes to all of this. But the coverage has started for the Champions League draw, so I'm just waiting for it. I'm assuming they're just going through the general. Yeah, they're just going through the general how's it going, all of that. But yeah, look, there's some notable exclusions this year from the Champions League, Christian. And you got the likes of Tottenham not qualifying, Monaco falling on their own sword. Setterfield pushed for the change in rules for the away goal to be abolished, and French league suffered the most and now knocked out of the fourth spot.
Yep.
So it's very interesting. Who isn't in this draw that you wish was there?
Honestly, the only team I wish that was there was, again, Milan. If anybody I'm kind of disappointed isn't there, would have been Napoli, because they've been doing pretty decent lately. I would have been okay with them being there. Tottenham not being there, yeah, whatever. Who cares? Yeah, that's probably about it. Honestly, there's nobody else I'd really care to see in there.
But yeah, so they're just going through the pots at the moment, and everyone's everywhere. So you just standard Champions League rules. You can't draw your own compatriot teams. You can't draw teams from the same pot as yourself. But Christian, this is probably going to be one of the most remembered and contested Champions League in the modern era. You just have so many stories coming out of it. Mr. Champions League himself, Ronaldo, making tracks potentially to Manchester City as soon as next week. You've got Ancelotti at the helm of Real Madrid, and you just know something's going to happen with that man at the helm. I just think Zidane got a bit stale there, and I don't know if anyone's seen, but the French president called the PSG president called Gareth Bale a golfer, but he's had some phenomenal performances as of late, to be honest. So it is quite interesting. There are some clubs that have been automatically allocated to separate pots already. So Zenit and Shakhtar cannot be drawn in the same group due to they don't like the countries competing against each other. Something to do with rivals. But yeah, look, Final Four. Who's your Final Four for Champions League semis?
Jesus, do I have to do that already?
Well, I was going to say pick a winner, but it's a lot easier to pick the four rough finalists.
Honestly, it's too tough, man. I think this year is going to be really close. There's a lot of competitive teams. I don't think it's going to be a usual year. I think it's going to be an unusual final. I don't see, everybody expects Paris to be there, but I don't see Paris being there. I won't be surprised if Madrid makes it there. It all depends. Ask me that question after the draw, because after the draw, then you get a clearer look on, okay, who can advance here, who can advance there. Right now, you're just kind of all right, I'm going to sit there and say, oh, Bayern Munich. Then Bayern Munich draws a group of that. Bayern, Barca, maybe Ajax, and then Milan. Then you get a group of that there, and you're just like, oh, damn, I don't know if Bayern's going to go out or not. So it's one of those things I don't want to pick one already. If I was to pick a team that I expect in the Final Four, I'm going to say Chelsea, just because they seem like a more complete team right now. I don't think they're going to win it all, but they're going to be there.
Did you think they were going to win it last season, though?
Last season, the only reason I thought they did was just because they were hitting the right momentum at the right time, and they were playing the right teams at the right time. They had the momentum going with them. Do I think that they were complete? No. But this season, they're actually complete. They finally have a striker. That's been their Achilles heel the last few years. And last year, they did it without a striker because Timo Werner is not a striker. Again, it all depends on what Lukaku you get. Yeah, he scored the first game, but again, what if he turns into Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, and it goes from there where one game he's good, the next game he's not. But at the end of the day, you still got a phenomenal midfield in there. That
Yeah.
midfield is going to do work and it's going to pick up the slack. Another team I like. Damn, see, it's just so tough. It all depends on who gets pulled in the groups. I like Dortmund, even though they don't have a strong defense, they still got some good talent there with Gio Reyna and Holland. Again, Bayern Munich, you can't ever sleep on the German champs. They're just a machine. They're physical, they're strong, they're good with the ball, they move, they have Leo. It's hard to really bet against them. Again, you have Paris, but again, they got Messi. You can't knock them out completely, even though they don't have a real strong defense at all, but they still have Messi. And again,
And they
if
got
Mbappe leaves, then you don't. I don't put them in that final four if Mbappe leaves. Madrid again, they have a team. They're pretty good. Barca again, pretty good. I think Barca again gets knocked out in the round of 16 again. That's just my personal opinion. Then you got your Atalantas in there too.
groups A. I'm just writing down the groups because they're about to start the draw. A,
If you see
B,
me looking over, it's because my TV's over there.
F, G,
I got it
and
on mute.
H.
Sorry.
Yeah, look, I think you can't sleep on Chelsea, definitely not. But England have City and Liverpool, who
Yeah.
their pedigree is phenomenal. I can't say Manchester United doing anything special. The first team to be drawn is Manchester City. So they are in Group A. So Manchester City, Group A. So it's too early to determine whether that's a big thing, but at the end of the day, it's the start of something, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Again, it's just one of those things. It's tough to decide already. Like, ask me after the draw when I see the roadmap, and then I can sit there and start being like, okay, they have a good chance. They have a good chance. Um, Damn, I wonder where we're gonna get. Honestly, I think we're gonna
Yes,
end up with something like
Atletico's
B.
Group B.
Oh,
Group C is about to be announced. Sorry,
I think
guys,
we're,
we
I think
cannot
we're gonna
have the
get D.
audio playing because it's copyrighted. So I've got the AirPod with the names being drawn. Sporting Lisbon has been Sporting has been drawn for Group C. But yeah, I think England have a very strong team and they're quite consistent. They haven't suffered much change compared to last season. And Bayern, they just seem the most solid. I think Real Madrid, Barcelona, they wouldn't surprise me, but they've suffered so much since last season. You've lost your centre back pairing. Inter has drawn Group D.
Didn't I just say Group D? Inter was getting Group D.
Nostradamus, mate. Nostradamus. They don't call you that for nothing.
Man, I'm excited for that though. I like being in those middle groups just because sometimes you can squeak by and nobody notices you.
Bayern Munich,
Group B or G?
E.
All right, because I'm just watching Inter get drawn right now to Group D. I'm like 10 seconds delayed. Go figure, American TV.
Don't worry. Group B. Just pulling it up so we can have it going at the banner at the bottom.
Group D, bro. Yeah, I hear you, Leanne.
Villarreal.
Oh, I still think they're gonna be a sleeper for some teams.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a tough draw for everyone.
Yeah.
Group B. Lille has drawn Group G.
Group G.
Group F.
Who y'all think will get in the second pot? Somebody leave a comment. Give me a prediction. I want to see if you think we'll get somebody.
PSG. I think we're going to get a Spanish team, to be honest.
Really? Let me pull that up again, and I'm going to look and make my prediction. I think we're going to end up with Madrid.
Yeah?
It's going to be Madrid or Barca. I think it's going to be Madrid, though. I hope I'm wrong, but I think it's going to be Madrid. You know who I think is going to go in Group A? I think Group A
is announcing the defenders of the season now.
I think Group A is going to have Atleti. It's going to be Atleti and Juve.
Group A. So let's say that. So Group A, Man City. Group B, Atletico Madrid. Group C, Sporting. Group D, Inter. Group E, Bayern Munich. Group F, Villarreal. Group
I think Group B is going to be Juve then. I think they're going to get paired up with Atletico.
Yeah.
Or unless UEFA fixes it, it's going to be Group A with Man City, just so Juve sell Ronaldo there, and then you got a whole new storyline.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be extremely tough to predict how everything goes. Man City, you could say Man City, Juve, just for the simple fact they want to get Ronaldo to face. But you could say Man City, PSG as well.
Oh,
now, imagine
that'd be amazing.
It's the headlines written in the stars. The semi-finalists from last year facing off. Ronaldo, Messi, one last hurrah. Something phenomenal.
I still think we're going to get Madrid. I just have that feeling we're going to get Madrid or Barca, and I think it's going to be Madrid. I hope not, but I have that feeling.
So these are the potential names for the next draw. Christian's touched on it. We've got Barcelona, PSG, Liverpool, Manchester United, Real Madrid, Dortmund, Sevilla, and Juventus, which Inter cannot draw. Ruben Diaz has been named as the Champions League defender of the tournament for last season. So that's an accolade for Manchester City already prior to the competition starting. But he did deserve it. He was phenomenal for those who were up to date with last year's Champions League.
Man, I'm curious already. I want this to start going. Let's skip that. Let's go.
Definitely. They're going through the names for Pot 2.
All right.
So they can
my charger.
Enter them. It's gonna, and then this is where it starts to move a bit quicker. Manchester United. Guys, for those who are still here with us, don't forget to like and subscribe to Football Worldwide. We will be bringing you weekly Serie A videos, weekly English Premier League videos, as well as your weekly European weekly catch-up. You'll be seeing Christian on the show, as well as many other guests from near and afar. But it's interesting as we move into the draw for Group Pot B, Pot 2, sorry. The stories are set for so many of these teams already. What did I say?
There it is. Charging.
Here we go.
Huh. Why is my camera blank though? Every single time. Hey, can you hear me?
So Dortmund are the first to be drawn. Dortmund has been drawn in Group C. So Dortmund has been drawn in Group C next to Sporting, which is interesting as we talk. It's something we didn't expect straight off the bat, but
Who got Group A? My bad. I had to get my charger situated.
so Sporting got Sporting and Dortmund. That's the only one. Real Madrid's just been drawn. They're about to say which group they will be entering.
If it's D, I'm walking away.
Please don't. They call you Nostradamus, but I don't know. I hope not. But I think this is probably the perfect year for us to be playing Real Madrid, in all seriousness. So he's pulling out which group they will be facing.
Who'd they get?
Group D, Inter Milan.
Yo, all right, it's time for me to head out, bro. You got to give me that. I'm 2 for 2. All right, let's look at pot 3. Who we getting?
I didn't want you to be right for once, but I do like it. So for all of our Inter fans in the chat today, Group D has been Real Madrid.
Yeah, I know. Well,
it's
I
the
know.
story.
Of course. I'm calling my lucky charm right here. Why I got it right again. Let's see.
So Liverpool has just been drawn, but the story's already written for Inter Milan. Let's go through it. Group G clubs never win. Lille's already got drawn. What chances for them to win the champs? Gerald there. But, yeah, Inter Milan, quick lottery numbers. Yes, it feels a bit like that, doesn't it, Will? It really
22,
does.
4, 6, 8, 13. If you win, Will, I get half. You live like 15 minutes.
Liverpool have drawn Group B with Atletico Madrid.
Okay, I got that one wrong.
Yeah, and look, that I think that's probably it's shaping up to be a group of death already.
Who got Group A? Nobody? Don't tell me Juve
Not yet.
Get it. Don't. If Juve gets it, I'm walking off.
So I don't know what name they've just drawn. PSG's just been drawn. PSG's just been drawn. Bayern Munich would be a nice.
Oh, that would be great.
They can't. The PSG president's there. I don't like him much, to be honest.
I hate PSG.
But yes, so PSG's just been drawn. They can draw anyone from Group A, E, F, and H. They just can't draw into Group G.
Just because it's them and it's fixed for them, they're gonna get an easy group like G or some. They can't get G. I'm tripping. Like F or some random shit like that.
Juventus. Welcome back. I don't know where they just got drawn. I missed it altogether.
Yo, guys, what's good? What are you telling me? Who we got? I missed it.
Inter has Real Madrid so far.
Oh. I'm 2 for 2.
Ay. Again.
I'm 2 for 2. I called
it. You predicted it.
Yeah, 2 for 2. I don't like it.
What was he saying?
Like it. Here we go. H. Juventus have Chelsea.
The champions.
That is a fantastic draw.
Hey, so who did PSG get?
I don't know. I missed it.
Did they get A?
I missed it altogether. So I've got to start saving this. So they've just drawn Barcelona, who Atletico Liverpool. Barcelona's just been drawn. They can only go into Group E or G, so they can either face Bayern Munich or Lille, which is interesting.
So then PSG got A then?
I think PSG got City.
The oil derby.
E. So Barcelona, Bayern Munich.
Oh,
So we have we got some fire groups happening at the moment.
The revenge for the 8-2.
Or it's going to happen again over two legs. Anything's possible, but I'm thinking they're glad. So Sevilla can only get Lille.
oh wow, Sevilla's about to finish in first. All right. Third, I'm calling Zenit.
Yes.
A part of me is saying Porto, but I want to be wrong, so I'm saying Zenit.
So Manchester United, Villarreal.
Ooh, that's a good game. That's a good game.
Wow.
It's the Europa League final rematch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
legit.
Nice.
All right. A part of me is saying Porto, but I'm saying Zenit just because I want to be wrong. So we're gonna get.
I think we're gonna get Shakhtar again.
You have the groups updated at the bottom. Group A, Manchester City, PSG. Group B, Atletico, Liverpool. Group C, Sporting Dortmund. Group D, Interreal. Group E, Bayern Munich, Barcelona. Group F, Villarreal, Manchester United. Group G, Sevilla and Lille. And Group H, Chelsea, Juventus. And let me tell you that I don't think there is one easy group there so far. I think all these groups are showing some strong players. Oh, it's phenomenal. But thank you, Darian. PSG
That's my boy.
with City. Ancelotti is nothing for Simone. Well, it's gonna be interesting. Uncle, you've just joined us. What's this look like for Inter? We've got Real Madrid for the second time, I think, in 3 years.
Yeah.
What do you think happens?
We gotta beat them this time, man. Like as we said before we even drew them, that they're looking weaker on paper. They lost Ramos, they lost Varane. The squad is still looking uncertain. Ancelotti, is not the same coach he was a while ago. It's obviously it depends if Mbappe comes or not, but I'm confident, man. I think we can do a better job than last year for sure.
Yeah, like my Theo Sharma said, we can take them now. I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, bro. Arturo,
Definitely.
No red card this time.
Yeah, that's my boy though.
Hopefully.
Me and Christian repping Arturo, the only two Arturo Vidal fans in the fan base.
I'm telling you, that's my boy. I think I might get.
I love the guy. He is phenomenal, but you got to give it to him. Surprising winner of the Champions League midfielder of the season last year, N'Golo Kante. He received the award. I thought Jorginho, but it is a Champions League award, so
they'll give it to Conte because they'll give Jorginho the best player of the tournament.
Yeah.
You'd hope.
They already said. I think.
Did they?
You'd hope.
Well, I think I've seen on all the media that Jorginho is gonna win the Player of the Season.
Yeah.
All right. Make your pot 3 prediction. I'm going Zenit.
I'm going Shakhtar.
You gonna go with my?
Are we just repeating last year's group?
Yeah, bro. I'm going for the repeat.
What are we up to? Pot 3 already. Here's who we can get everyone in this group other than Atalanta.
No, come on.
Pick a group. No Leipzig.
Pick a group. Pick it. Come on, Bruno. I already said Zenit. Sharma says Shakhtar. We're waiting on your pick.
Ajax for Inter.
A part of me was saying Porto, but I'm going to go with Zenit just to be wrong.
Gerald says Group C's and G look like easy groups. You say that, but on paper, they don't. You look at Group C, it's Sporting versus Dortmund so far. They're they're not the best two teams there, but at the same time,
it's competitive.
Together, it's competitive, and the same goes for G with Lille and Sevilla. It is something special on that front. So here we go. We're starting the draw for the third team.
Yo, Ivanovic looks so funny, man. He looks like he's there, like he's a hitman. He's there just for business, straight up business, no jokes.
So Shakhtar Donetsk got drawn first. So they're about to draw what group they're going
Group B.
into.
B.
They can get A, B, C, or D, I believe. So I'd like to see him in C just for the competitive nature, Sporting, Dortmund, and Shakhtar.
Oh, that'd be
I just think it'd be extremely competitive. But you put them in Group A, well, they're going to Europa, you'd think. So here he goes. Group A. No, I don't know. D. Group D. Shakhtar Donetsk are with Inter.
There you go. Called it. It's a repeat.
Who was the fourth team last year again?
Mönchengladbach, but they're not in it this year.
Yeah.
All right. Is there a German team in the fourth?
Wolfsburg.
Yeah.
All right. That's what we're getting. Wolfsburg.
Oh, you called it zero.
Europa League as well.
Thank God I was wrong. I hate when I start getting too much stuff right. That shit scares me.
So, who got drawn?
Benfica.
I'd love to see them in the Lille Sevilla group.
Yeah.
Everyone in my WorldWide chat at the moment are saying same group as last year. How is this possible? But yes, it's definitely it's comedic to say the least. Group E has Benfica, who joined Bayern Munich and Barcelona.
Oh, poor guys.
Look, at the end of the day, Benfica do have a history when it comes to European competition, and they are not shy when it comes to playing the big guns. But I think these guns are a bit too big for them this year. The next,
Christian.
the baby's trying to say hello.
Oh yeah, you right here. Hold on. A little higher. There we go.
The new signing.
Zenit St. Petersburg.
Who do they have these days? And I haven't really looked at the squads, since like Hulk and them and those guys used to be there.
Yeah, since Hulk departed, I haven't even considered them anything, to be honest. If they get Group A, I will be upset. I'd love to see them in Group G with Lille and Sevilla. Please be G. H. They joined Chelsea and Juventus.
Oh.
It's a good group.
It's looking good, this group.
Yeah, that's quite good. Juve have to do the trip to Russia on the away days.
Yeah, definitely. They got to make a nice trip to Russia, trip to London. It'll be interesting to see, say the least. But the next team drawn is RB Leipzig from Germany.
Oh, at least we didn't get them.
Yeah, bro. I'm so happy we didn't get Leipzig.
I'd love to see them with PSG and Manchester City, to say the least. That will be an extremely competitive fixture. Atletico Madrid, Liverpool as well. Group A or B, anything's possible here. Here we go. I like how they're a lot more quicker between draws now. They're speeding it up. Group A. They join Manchester City, PSG.
Yeah, you called it, bro.
It's shaping up to be a group of death now. Imagine AC Milan go into that.
Oh, yes, please give AC Milan that group.
Jeez.
You give AC Milan Group A.
Don't leave me alone.
Here we go. The final team. not the final team, but Atalanta, a Serie A team. I would love to see them come up against Atletico and Liverpool.
Ooh,
Lille, Sevilla. If they go to Lille and Sevilla, AC Milan are destined for an early exit from this competition. That's for sure. Atalanta can go into Group C, F, and G, I believe. And they get Group F, Villarreal and Manchester United,
Ooh,
which
that's
is
interesting.
an interesting group.
Away trip at the Old Trafford. That'll be nice.
Yeah, you wouldn't mind. Atalanta has just drawn Villarreal and Manchester United. And I just lost everything. Leipzig.
That's a good group. Villarreal, Man U, and Atalanta.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, you know what? This Champions League's turning out to be real competitive.
This Champions League is an extremely. There are multiple groups of death here.
Salzburg
Multiple.
drawn.
And Salzburg have Group J, Lille and Sevilla.
That's a good group. I think Salzburg and Sevilla go through, though.
Yeah, you're right.
So there's 2 teams left remaining. And who gets drawn here?
All right.
Porto.
I hate to cut it short, but I actually got to go do something for my mom real quick. So I'll talk to y'all later. Theo Sharma, good seeing you. Bruno, I'll catch you later. Later.
Thank you for jumping in. Ciao. The Portos with Atletico and Liverpool.
Oof. That's a nice group.
And Ajax is with Sporting and Dortmund.
Well, that's like a hipster group.
So who got into the Chelsea and Juventus group? Zenit.
Yeah, Zenit.
So Zenit St. Petersburg. Here it is. Group the updated list. Group A is Manchester City, PSG, and RB Leipzig. Group B, Athletic Madrid, Liverpool, and FC Porto. Group C, Sporting Lisbon, Dortmund, and Ajax. Group D, well, it is last year's Group H, Inter, Real, and Shakhtar so far. Group E is Bayern, Barca, and Benfica. Group F, Villarreal, Manchester United, Atalanta. Group G, Lille, Sevilla, Red Bull Salzburg. And Group H is Chelsea, Juventus, and Zenit St. Petersburg. Erling Haaland has just been announced as forward of the campaign last year, which is no surprise.
No.
Zil, from a Inter Milan perspective, who I don't even know if you make a question as to who you're gonna get. Like it's one of those things where, well, you know, we can get Wolfsburg, that's for sure, but at the end of the day, it's you got to beat the best, but not from the beginning.
I know, bro. I understand everyone that says yes, it doesn't matter about the group, but for 1 year, we do need a nice group. So I hope we get like a Malmo or a Bruges. To be honest, I hope or even Young Boys, one of those. I don't want to get Besiktas. I don't need that away trip to Turkey with the full crowd, with the fireworks and all that kind of stuff. Not Wolfsburg, no Dynamo Kiev. That's way too far of a trip as well. Yeah, so
Malmo, Sweden.
Ooh, please, Group D.
So let's just get to some of the comments quickly, guys. The Zerbi is nothing for Lemone. Wolfsburg, let's do it. Shakhtar, nice. We can get the revenge on him. Milan's going to get Lille and Sevilla.
Man, I'm gonna be fuming if they get that group.
and still go out. Biggie. Sevilla ain't winning Europa League this year. They're definitely not. With the group they've drawn, it would be a shock if they don't make the next stage. That's for sure. We can't get Kiev because of Shakhtar in our group. Good point. Biggie, on it. Thank you, as always. And we will probably get discus. So,
No, man. Besiktas, those away days in Turkey are tricky as hell.
you know what? It's 3 a.m. here in Sydney, Australia, and I am happy I stayed up for this, to be honest. This is a fire draw. Like, the groups of death that potentially have been drawn so far is just phenomenal. It's going to be a great competition.
Yeah, bro. This is a very balanced Champions League. I don't really see any particular favorites at the moment.
No, definitely. Like, the weaker teams have drawn the weaker teams. Yeah. So anything's possible, but it's gonna be very interesting. That
Sheriff team would be nice as well because the first time in the competition. Moldova.
Yeah, and knowing our luck, they'll pump it and go to the knockouts. So, the first name to be drawn is. He takes his time. How tough is it to unscrew those balls, to be honest? Young boys.
Come on, Group D.
Switzerland. So they can get drawn into any group. Any group. Group D, hopefully, is the name that gets drawn out. Group D, but you know what? We've had Inter's Tech group has been drawn first every single time. Mm-hmm. So if they draw Group D, there's something sus. I'm hoping we get like a bit later on where it's like, the tough ones have already been come out and allocated. Here we go. Where's Young Boys going?
My stream is like 3-4 seconds behind yours, I think.
Wow. Good group. Group F.
Ooh, interesting.
Group F has been completed. Villarreal, Manchester United, Atalanta, and now Young Boys. Fantastic group. Highly competitive.
Yeah, Young Boys will be the whipping boys, though.
Young Boys will be, but the top 3 spots will definitely be Besiktas. Here we go. So they can be placed into any group. Yeah, look, Young Boys will be the whipping group, but Villarreal, Manchester United, Atalanta, you can't really pick anything there, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
I can finish second there.
There's no English teams in pot 4, unfortunately. Here we go. What's happening?
Yeah, I was hoping there could be an away day somewhere in England for Inter this year. We could go see him.
Group C. So, Sporting Dortmund, Ajax, and Besiktas.
Ooh, that's a very balanced group. Very balanced group.
The balance. This draw is actually it's one of a kind. I gotta say, you don't have those. I think every group is potentially a very tough group to predict.
Yeah, definitely, bro.
AC Milan.
Hey, cousins. Alcugini.
Manchester City, PSG, and RB Leipzig. Come on.
Please, Group A, come on.
They can only go into Group A or B.
Oh, damn that. Oh, even B is a tricky one.
B, Group B it is. They got the lesser of the two evils, AC Milan.
Hey, Liverpool, AC Milan. That's a fixture of a lot of history the last couple of decades.
Biggie, yes. Atalanta getting out of the group again. Imagine naming a club Young Boys. That is an open group. Please put Milan in A. Unfortunately, they have joined Group B. but
Still a
still
tough group.
great competition there. Great competition.
No.
So
Wolfsburg, oh, here it is coming now. It's coming.
they've only got two groups: Group D or Group H. So
I
they
can
will
see it,
either
Bruno.
face.
I can
I
see
can
it.
see it too. I've already written it. I've already written it. Group G. They joined
Ooh.
Lille, Sevilla, and Red Bull Salzburg. That is a fantastic group. That is a fantastic group. Wolfsburg. Oh, there it is. Club Rouge.
Come on, Group D. I'll take Bruges. Nice little.
A, D, or H? A, D, or H. So they can join City, Inter, or Chelsea's groups.
Come on, D.
Come on, D. I'm with you on this one. Come on, D.
Oh wait, I don't think
We need some whipping, boys.
I don't
A.
think yeah.
They have joined Man City, PSG, and RB Leipzig.
Come on. The big boys are out for now, Bruno. So we could get Malmo, Sheriff. Yeah, it's turning out to be okay for now.
Malmo, Sheriff, or there's one more left.
Yeah, we can't get Dinamo Kiev.
Well, Malmo. Yeah. Come on, Group D.
Yes,
Group D.
come on.
Oh, Moldova for Italy. They can either go into Inter's group, Malmo, or Juventus's. So anything's possible here.
How far is Moldova?
H. So Inter get Sheriff.
Yeah. Oh, actually, Moldova's quite far. I just looked on the map. That's like near Ukraine.
Of course it is.
But yeah,
Of course it is.
it's still better than Wolfsburg and whatever. So
Still better than Wolfsburg. Dinamo Kiev will join. Not Inter. They'll be joining. Group E. Bayern Munich, Barcelona, and Benfica, as well as Dinamo Kiev. Thank you to the 17 people who are still here in the chat today. We will break down the groups one at a time once this is over, and then Inter. Well, it's official. Sheriff.
Yeah, same group as last year, apart from Sheriff coming in for Gladbach. So it is slightly easier than last year, you could say.
Definitely.
We haven't got the group of death.
Well, all right. That's my first question to you, Zil. Who's the group of death?
Wait, I need to see like a graphic of all the teams up. Can you get it? Can you get like a graphic up with all the groups up?
So it's on the banner at the bottom.
Oh yeah.
I've updated the banner.
Probably like Group A or something, right?
Yeah. So Group A: Manchester City, PSG, RB Leipzig, and Club Rouge. Let me just.
I think that's a group of death, really, isn't it?
I just sent you in private chat the groups as well, so you got the whole list rather than looking at the bottom at the scrolling.
Yeah.
But yeah, Group A is Man City, PSG, RB Leipzig, and Club Rouge. Group B is Atletico Madrid, Liverpool, FC Porto, and AC Milan. Group C, Sporting Dortmund, Ajax, and Besiktas. Group D, Inter, Real, Shakhtar, and Sheriff, Tiraspol. Group E, Bayern, Barca, Benfica, and Dinamo. Group F, Villarreal, Manchester United, Atalanta, and Young Boys. Group G, Lille, Sevilla, Red Bull Salzburg, and Wolfsburg. And Group H, Chelsea, Juventus, Zenit, and Malmo. So,
Yeah, there's
look,
no standout group of death.
no, I think they're all pretty even. Like, you can even make an argument for Group C having Sporting, Dortmund, Ajax, and Besiktas. They're not the best of the best, but at the same time, they're extremely competitive with each other.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
actually,
Group F.
Group B on a they're all really good luck because they got AC Milan are supposed to be the worst team in that one, so it's
Yeah.
a really good group actually when you look at it. Porto, Madrid, Liverpool, Milan. That's a really difficult group.
Yeah, you've got Lille, Sevilla, Red Bull Salzburg, and Wolfsburg as well.
Yeah.
That's I think. Look, personally, I think Juventus got the easiest draw out of the Italian clubs with Chelsea, Zenit, and Malmo. I just think they're going to run right against Zenit and Malmo and qualify with Chelsea hands down easy.
Yeah.
The rest of the Italian clubs, like you mentioned, AC Milan have Atletico Madrid, Liverpool, Porto. AC Milan can finish first in this group, and they can finish last.
Yeah. It's a cool.
It's a fairly difficult group in that sense. Atalanta have Villarreal, Manchester United, and Young Boys.
Yeah.
I think Atalanta, the worst they're going to do is end up in Europa.
Yeah, no, I think they can. I think second or third for Atalanta there. Villarreal finishing third, and Man United first, in my opinion.
Yeah, that would be extremely interesting. And then Inter. Let's talk a bit about Inter. Zil Sharma, you're famous for your Inter. You're famous for your knowledge. And are we just gonna have to get the videos that we did last year and just repost them? Or is this going to be a different Inter we see against Shakhtar and Real Madrid?
Well, basically, like the gods have almost given Inzaghi, like in a game when you die and you just respawn, and they just gave him the respawn from Conte's season. They're like, all right, you have a go with the exact same team. Let's see what you got. But I don't know. Shakhtar are going to be completely different this year because the Zerbi's come in. He's not going to sit back. He's going to try to dominate possession. They're going to be a lot more open. They're not going to sit back like they did against us and play terrorist football. So I think there's already much more positive in that sense. Like Sheriff, surely that should be 6 points. I mean, I know they'll have the enthusiasm first time in the Champions League, all that kind of stuff, but really and truly, you should get 6 points there. The Madrid one is that's a tricky one. Oh, nice little graphic there into WorldWide. What do you think, bro?
Look, I think Sheriff, it should be 6 points, but it also should be 6 points for Real Madrid and Shakhtar as well. Yeah. I can't see either of them actually losing or taking any point. I think you hit the nail on the head. It's a different Shakhtar than what we've seen. In the last 2 years, we've smacked them 5-0 in a semi-final of a European competition, but at the same time, we've been relegated to last. So anything's possible, but in the context of things, I honestly think Inzaghi's good enough to get Inter through it. Simple as that. Just let's head to the comments a bit. King Darian, thanks UEFA.
I don't know if that's
watch my boy Carrera balling. I think this is where Inzaghi will shine.
Yeah.
I think this is where Inzaghi will really come out and show his true colours, and he's got his man. He's got his man, and we've seen. I don't know. Have you seen such a free ball in Inter?
No, but I don't want to get ahead of myself yet. I remember Conte's first ever game was a 4-0 against Lecce, and we looked really, really good. So I don't want to get too ahead of myself yet, but I think we will do better in Europe. Let me pose to you a question, Bruno. Would you take a better European campaign for a kind of meh or like okay Serie A campaign? Like we get to final 16, quarterfinal. and you finish
Look, I
third in
think
Serie A.
anything other than a semi-final, if we make the semi-final, okay. But I just think Inzaghi will want to make a name for himself. And at this point in time, I don't think Zhang and Marotta have turned to him and said, your goal's to win the Champions League.
Oh no,
Yeah, I can see him getting out of the group stage, but at the end of the day, do you want that second star or not? That's the question.
yeah, we do.
2
want that.
stars or keep the 1 star and go deep? Look, Inzaghi isn't leaving at the end of this season, and we know that. Inzaghi is building a beautiful team. And I just think, you know what? We'll get out of the group, but look at Lazio last season. They didn't have the squad depth that Inter had. They suffered a lot due to COVID as well when it came to the Champions League, and he still managed to pull them through that group with results against Dortmund and so forth. But Will's jumped in and he said, "Second star, boys. Champions League's a bonus." What do you think, Sharma?
Well, my one was more like it wasn't being like realistic. It was more like, one of those scenarios where you don't really win. You can't win. You have to pick the lesser bad, I guess, or whatever. So I would be happy to get finally more European success. Do you know what I mean? Like finally, like it's embarrassing if we don't get past the group stage. It's embarrassing, Bruno. Like you can't go four seasons in a row without qualifying through the group stage.
Yeah, and you know what? Last year coming last, it was excusable because we won the Scudetto. Simple as that.
Yeah.
We don't win that Scudetto. It's a different story. It's a different headline. It's a different result for Conte at the end of the day.
I remember people were calling for Conte's head. They said, you have to deliver the Scudetto now because we're finished last.
And you know what? That's exactly what he did. But I agree. I think we need to get to the round of 16, not just for financial gain, because at the end of the day, the financial gain from group stage to the round of 32 even, the round of 16, is enormous. And if you look at some of the teams that we could potentially face in the round of 16, where you're not facing your own, whoever finished first or second in your own group, as well as your own compatriots, it really does narrow it thins the list, and you could see Inter take on Manchester United or something like that. But I think Inzaghi can potentially get us out of the group, but at the same time still find that success. And the reason I say that, it's because the rest of the league hasn't strengthened, whereas Inter has strengthened at the same time as created some depth. I have not seen an Inter squad depth like this so well, and then just the injection of Correa. Now, ideally, where do you see Inter's Champions League campaign go?
No, we have to finish. I can see us finishing second quite comfortably in this one because we're the two best clubs in there, Real Madrid and Inter. I think we can even finish first, to be honest, because Real Madrid really not looking that tasty this year. At the back, especially as we said, Varane and Ramos, they were the two starting centre backs, and now they've got Nacho, they got Alaba. It's not the same. It's not the same level. Benzema's now 34 years old. Up front, Vinicius, Asensio. Like, it's a good team, but it's not outstanding. So we should be able to beat Real Madrid. Like, even last year, I really thought we could have beaten Real Madrid, and we played them at the wrong time. At the beginning of the season, we were just struggling, weren't we? But I think if Inter last season played Real Madrid, let's say we played them in like March or February, like we would have won that match. That's when Conte really started to get the team under him. So I'm confident, bro. I'm actually really confident about finishing first.
Does your approach change for Real Madrid if Mbappe makes his way across under Carlo Ancelotti and his new structured team?
Nah, Skriniar's got him. Skriniar and Damiano Dumfries on that right hand side. They will have him pocketed. Don't worry.
Definitely. I like this comment from Gerald. The Zerbi came for Champions League success. Um, Definitely, but it's his first time in European competition of this caliber. Is he prepared? And you got to remember the San Siro is going to be cheering. The San Siro is going to be screaming. This is an element we did not see last year. That San Siro plays a massive part, especially in the Giuseppe Miazza there when you've got opponents like Shakhtar. But I don't know. I think when it comes to Inter, we leave them there at this current point in time. You're based in England. I want to know your opinion of the Manchester City, PSG, RB Leipzig, and Club Bruges team. The rumours of Ronaldo making his way across to Manchester City, does that change anything?
Hey man, that's crazy. Like this transfer market really has been one of the craziest ever. Like it's gonna go down in history if this Ronaldo thing goes through. But yeah, that does change because that's what they need. They were looking at Harry Kane, Man City, so that looks like it's not happening. Ronaldo, Cristiano is now he's become just a goal scorer. He's not a tricky winger anymore like he used to be. This guy is just gonna wait for those tap ins from Grealish, Sterling, the crosses, KDB pinging those balls into him. So he's definitely gonna add something to that team. So for me, Man City are favorites in that group for me because as I said, for PSG, I just don't see that team for the first few months anyway. At least not clicking, the chemistry not really being there. If they lose Mbappe as well, they lose that penetration, someone running in behind because Neymar and Messi, both of them won the ball. Who's going to run in behind? Icardi, like this guy, we know his link-up play stinks anyway. So I see
Who gets out of the group?
Man City and PSG, man, has to be.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
I
even with
could
those
see
issues.
Leipzig even surprising a few people there, to be honest.
Yeah. Group B, Atletico Madrid, Liverpool, Porto, and AC Milan. Probably one of the tougher groups, especially for those who are, it's just Serie A supporters, but there's a lot of history in this group. There's a lot of history. Atletico Madrid making the finals, Liverpool, Porto, AC Milan, and we all know the AC Milan Liverpool final.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what's happening there, but who's your pick to come out of the group in such a tough group there?
Liverpool, Atleti, I think first and second, and then AC to come third.
Yeah, look, I personally, I'd agree with your prediction there, but I'm also going to turn around and say this is probably one of the groups where we can predict the two teams to come first and they come last. It's just such an unpredictable group overall. Yeah. But yeah, we'll move on to Group C. Sporting Dortmund, Ajax, and Besiktas. Two teams to come out of that group.
Ajax and Ajax and Dortmund, yeah.
Yeah, look, I can't say Sporting taking pot one because of the Portuguese winning it, but I can't really see them competing that too much. But again, very competitive group. We've spoken Group D, Inter Real, Shakhtar Sheriff. I'm going to say Inter Real, to be honest, in that order. I think the way the pots went is the way it's going to finish. We'll finish Inter Real, Shakhtar, and Sheriff. They'd be lucky to score a goal, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so let's move to Group E, Bayern, Barca, Benfica, and Dinamo. Are Bayern and Barca the Galacticos in this group that are too strong, or can Benfica and Dinamo prove to be an upset?
No, I don't think so. I mean, Barca maybe I don't think they're particularly strong this year. So I could see Bayern being comfortably, pretty much winning every game and then being a bit of a gap. But I feel like the Barcelona will finish second, then Benfica, and then Dinamo.
Yeah, look, it would be really weird seeing Barca or Bayern in the Europa League. That is for sure. Um, Villarreal, Manchester United, Atalanta Young Boys. This is probably one of the most entertaining groups
Yeah,
for you can pick your top three. And it's between you would say it's between Villarreal, United, and Atalanta. You'd rule out Young Boys, but who gets the cut there? I personally think Atalanta United qualify,
yeah,
and Villarreal go back to Europa. What's your thoughts?
yeah. Same exactly as you. I think Villarreal last year had really impressive Europa League campaign, but yeah, I don't think they'll be able to replicate that kind of run in the Champions League.
It was a 22 penalty shots taken to win that campaign against Manchester United, but definitely. Let's move on to Group G. Lille, Sevilla, Red Bull Salzburg, and Wolfsburg.
Oof.
I can't pick this group. I would say Sevilla, Wolfsburg, Red Bull, and Lille in that order.
I
But
reckon I reckon Lille, because they're doing. You said they were doing quite badly in the French league. I think they might just focus their energies in Champions League. So I'm going for Sevilla and Lille top two.
yeah, and you got to remember Manchester AC Milan did acquire Lille's goalkeeper,
Mm,
who had the most clean sheets across Europe, all of Europe's leagues last season. So it will be interesting to say the least. And the final group, also featuring another Serie A team, is Chelsea, Juventus, Zenit, Malmo. Is there only two teams in this group?
yeah, unfortunately, Juve got the group are the Italians, as you said.
Yeah, and look, at the end of the day, Juventus are a team which are not known to do well in Europe, but with Allegri returning and Ronaldo departing, you can't really predict what's going to happen with the squad, but you can't see them struggling with Zenit and Malmo. That is for sure.
Exactly.
Okay, so it is now 3:30 a.m. Sydney time, and I need to hit the sack. I would love to thank Christian Rivas, who is no longer with us in this stream, but I would definitely love to thank you, Zil Sharma, and I hope it's the first of many appearances on Football Worldwide.
Yeah, man. No, thank you for having me on, and great work that you guys are doing on here, keeping people up to date with everything that's going on in European football. So, shouts out to you guys, man.
Thank you, and just a plug for yourself. Where can the fans find you?
Yeah, if you just search Uncle Sharma on YouTube, you should be able to find me. Yeah, just interrelated content, pretty much, and Serie A stuff.
Definitely. Thank you again. And for all of those fans out there, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for joining us for Football Worldwide's first live stream. Forza football in general, and you will be seeing us with the Champions League knockout stages soon. But let's get through this.
The
Thank you, Sharma.
champion.